G'day guys, Dan from Coast Lobster here. We're making a short video to show you how to humanely put a lobster to sleep for good, and also how to prepare it my favourite way, which is on the barbecue. So when you come and pick your lobsters up at Christmas Eve, these lobsters will be delivered to you live. As you can see, this is a live lobster. The first step we're going to show you is how to put this lobster to sleep the most humane way possible, which I find is submerging it in fresh water for around 10 minutes. As these lobsters are saltwater lobsters, so the fresh water will humanely put them to sleep. So we have an esky here, so we're simply going to drop our live lobster into our esky. Okay, once it's in, it's a bit jumping round, and then we're going to grab the hose and we're going to fill this esky up about halfway, okay? Depending on how many lobsters you have in there, obviously a lot of lobsters, fill it right to the top. So now that it's halfway up, we're simply going to close the lid and we're going to wait about 10 minutes, and when we come back, this lobster will be asleep for good. Okay guys, our 10 minutes has passed now. As you can see, there's no life left in the lobster, so now the next step is to cut this lobster in half, or what we call butterfly the lobster. So I like to have a nice chopping board. So we have the chopping board ready, and it's important to make sure we actually have the tail spread out nice and flat on the chopping board, as you can see. I like to get a tea towel and place it over the lobster's head like this, so. Then we're going to take our sharp knife and we're going to try and get in the center of the lobster as well as we can. And we just put a slight pressure on and down the knife comes. It can be quite difficult. And then we're just going to follow that cut all the way down, folks, all the way down through the tail until we get right to the end. Okay, so as we can see, we've cut through nicely there. And I like to spin the lobster around. And now we're going to place the towel on the back half of the lobster. So with the tail on, we go back to our cut line and we continue that cut all the way along. Okay, so that's gotten through nicely. And now the next stage is to open the lobster. So we split the lobster in half, and as you can see, we have quite a bit of stomach lining and intestine in here. So I like to get a bit of paper towel. And you don't want to wash your lobsters, you're washing the flavour off. So do not wash it with fresh water. Simply pick out the bits like the stomach lining, then we come into the intestines here. Grab it out like so, drop it in your bowl, grab another piece, remove the other side. Okay. And now our lobster is ready for some garnish. Okay guys, now we've got our lobster how we want it, nice and clean. We haven't put any fresh water on the skin, and we're going to just have a simple mix here of garlic and butter. You want it at room temperature, and then we're simply going to place this garlic butter all over the flesh of the lobster like so, right up into the head there. And you can be quite generous with it, make sure it gets a good covering. Okay, as you can see, it's ready for the Weber. So now our next step is to move our lobster to our barbecue. It's important to have your barbecue preheated to around 180 to 200 degrees. And we're going to simply place this. I like to put it on the flat, some people like to put it on the grill, it's just a personal choice. Okay, now we've got our lobster all ready. The Weber's been preheated. We're about to place this lobster onto the Weber for cooking. So people had different choices. I like to go shell down and for about 8 minutes, and then I like to put the flesh down for about another 2 to 3 minutes on the Weber. Okay, let's place it on. So as I mentioned, shell up for me, simply slide it across. Now cooking time can vary guys on the size of the lobster. So place him down, fold his whiskers in, and just get him on there nice and flat like that so the butter doesn't dribble off. So once it's on there, now we're going to pop the leg down, and we're going to come back to that in about another 8 minutes and have a look. After the 8 minutes, we'll flip the lobster over and we'll place it flesh side down for about another 2 to 3 minutes to really get those lovely flavours. Okay guys, so now our 8 minutes has passed and we're ready to flip our lobster for the final stage. A lot of smoke in that in there, so open it up. Okay, and we can see it's cooking along nicely. We've got some nice juices formed in here, and you can see the garlic on the lobster as well. So we're simply going to grab the lobster now and flip it over. Okay, now we're just going to leave that for about another 3 minutes. As you can see, it's coming along nicely. Okay guys, we've come to the end of our cooking time now. The 3 minutes has passed and it's time to remove our lobster from the Weber. So simply lift the lid up guys, use your tongs, just be careful, and we're simply going to flip it over onto our dish. And as you can see, look at that guys, absolutely beautiful. So once we've got it on our dish like that, it's simply time to enjoy our lobster now guys. So there it is. Just want to say thank you very much for your support guys, and Merry Christmas from the Coast Lobster family, and enjoy your lobsters.